We are at the SEMA show. Finally, this day has come. We have been preparing. The 4th year, we are already showcasing our cars, year after year. These are mostly different cars. And this year, we will immediately summarize 2 of our projects. They are both completed. Not all of them were made entirely by us. Some, for example, the sheriff's car, was initially made by a person who disassembled it. Then there were people who assembled it, installed the push bar, and then there was Unplugged Performance, who made this car visually resembling a police car. We are now going to install this kind of paddle. This is carbon. We already have carbon on the mirrors. We also beautifully covered the cracked glass with a special plaque that will show and remind the sheriff's department that we worked together on this car and what year it was. Note that the door on the other side is red, because we still do not rule out the possibility that this car could also work in the fire department.
There was a little miscommunication with the color of what police cars are in America, I guess. So he hooked me up with a red car. I guess I'm gonna be a fireman now.
Special police equipment is installed here, and here are the posts just in case to block this car from violators. If you arrive somewhere and there are a huge number of violators and you can't handle them, you just set up the posts, stretch a ribbon, stand behind that ribbon, and nothing threatens you. This is the law. This spoiler was carefully and beautifully crafted in the city of Kyiv. It has come a long way. From Kyiv to Poland, from Poland by plane, from the plane to Los Angeles. And now it is being installed here at SEMA on a car that will work in the police department. In general, do you feel how, when we were drawing this spoiler, I never thought in my life that it would ever be installed on a police car? While Sasha is gluing the spoiler, I will be talking in the background about a completely different car. Convertible has become much lower. Next, we have red accents. This added more questions about this car. First of all, there was a question of why there are hubcaps in the front, but none in the back. Now, why has the carbon suddenly become red? Here, a new arch has appeared. Why is it this shape and not another? We will talk about this and everything else in another video, which I will dedicate to how to use this car and answer all questions regarding this vehicle. For now, I will just list what we have added here. So, this part was actually made from a 3D printed component. It is now completely carbon. This part was previously made of carbon. So, the car has become much lower. It's lying on the floor. We achieved this by installing air suspension. It's lying right on the battery. That is, it was very important for us to drop it as much as possible. The main thing is the test drive, and to show it, want to feel for myself how necessary this thing is. Our underhood space changed. Underhood space is now occupied by this. So we have an additional battery of 81 kilowatts. Now the car travels approximately 800 miles. A badge, so no one forgets who, why, and when this car was made. What else did we do with this car? Well, a huge number of things that we didn't manage to do before this car was brought to Abismo. In Abismo, we finished the car on the last night. Now we have prepared it for SEMA. We prepared it quite calmly. So, in the last couple of days, we were polishing and finishing something on this. And this is probably the calmest preparation for SEMA show among all 4 that we had. We check how the spoiler is positioned. It is in place. Everything is fine. Our badge is in place. What did we indicate? We indicated that there is currently only one such car. We probably wrote 1 of 1, but maybe we should have written first and the year of manufacture. We probably should have written first because I'm sure that such cars will continue to be made for the police department, and this is exactly what a police car needs if it wants to catch someone. Because all those chases where someone drives away and they chase him, it all doesn't work with this car. It stays on the tail for a couple of seconds. And then for several more seconds, it can be ahead or beside wherever the driver of this car wants. The only downside is that police officers need to prepare for exactly the same cars, because they are transitioning from slow cars, from regular police cars, and here completely different skills are required, And maybe the LA Police Department will be the first to introduce training specifically on such cars. Because Teslas are already being seen among police cars. For example, Cybertruck seems to be born for the police department. And there is also the Model Y and other cars. The Plaid is still too expensive to buy on a regular basis. Cybertruck is also quite expensive, which is why this car is styled for the police. The guys expect that these cars will be ordered. Sure, they will be ordered because the price of the Cybertruck will gradually decrease. Maybe they will make some kind of empty version without the rear steering wheels and something else specifically for the military and police. I am sure that this will happen because the body is ready to be in military configuration.
So, looks like our project is over. Andrew, can you say a few words about this car?
Well, I'd like to start by saying I hope it's not over. I hope this continues. I hope this car gets to go all over the world and race at tracks and expose all our law enforcement agencies across the country to the next generation of law enforcement vehicles. And I think this is going to be a great experience. I was fortunate enough to work with you to take a car that was in complete pieces, and you revived it and made it a beautiful factory. Everything was perfect on the car, and once we got it rolling and everything checked out, we were able to take it over to Upfit, where we let them do what they do best and turn this thing into a police car.
We had a lot of challenges with this car. The battery was separated, the screen was missing along with the wiring. Another very important job was made by Unplugged Performance. Ben, can you explain everything?
Well, it's great. It's great teamwork. TSK did a lot of work on the repair on the vehicle. This was not a vehicle that was ready to be a police car until their team was done with their side of the job, and they put a lot of work into it. On our end, our division, Upfit, builds police vehicles that we ship around the country, hopefully internationally someday as well. And this represents the fastest police car, one of the fastest police cars. So it's really a pleasure to be a part of the project on the police build side with Upfit. We received the vehicle that was ready to go. Everyone is walking by, checking it out. I think still people are not getting used to the idea of having a Plaid police car. And thankfully, through this collaboration with Andrew, with TSK, here we are. Don't try to run from this thing. It's not going to work out for you.
While you enjoy the footage of the cars that we have already placed here, I will tell you about what we want to do next year. That is, the plan for next year. It is very important to set some plans before you do anything. With TSK GTR, this is the next project. If this series has not yet been on the channel, you will see it soon. I won't describe what it is, but it will be coolest conversion of a gasoline car to electric. Another project. This is the flying Model Y. I also won't explain how it will fly. The point is that it should fly. And I want to see a real car that will be in the air, in a still frame. These are the kinds of projects. If you think we have taken off from the ground and are doing something that nobody needs at all, be sure to write in the comments. I am sure many of you have already done this. Really enjoy reading any of your comments. And I would also like you to definitely write what you would add to these projects as well. Friends, subscribe to the channel. See you. Bye.
For the fourth year in a row, we participate in this great event, the final parade in the end of the SEMA show. It is the time when all the cars of the show line up and follow along the road, greeted by the spectators. Over there is John from S Club with his builds. A whole street is filled with people who wave and admire beautiful cars. Thank you for supporting us all through our journey. And if you missed the previous episodes about our Tesla Roofless and Police Interceptor, I will leave the links in the description box below. Thanks for watching and see you again soon.